Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so happy to have you here. So today we're going to be talking about sensitivity and holding grudges. So let's roll that intro and we'll get right into it.
Yeah, so let's start out by just talking a little bit about what we mean when we say like holding grudges and the sensitivity towards it. Well, we're talking about people who are directly and unnecessarily trying to make changes and things that just don't really matter over issues that happened to the point where nobody's alive anymore where those issues occurred. We were talking earlier and we had a good example of the Aunt Jemima's label. They changed it because it represented a character of coming out of slavery. Well, okay, like I get that, and I get slavery is a bad thing. Like we both understand that. But at the same time, is it really necessary to change a logo or character just for that reason? Like, comment below if you disagree, but to me, it's part of the company's heritage. It's part of what it is. They don't represent slavery. They don't approve of it or support it or engage in it. Maybe they did back in 1885. But then a war happened and a bunch of people died to stop it from happening anymore. And slavery was abolished in North America. It's gone. Okay? And we get it. It sucked. It was wrong. But we're not doing it anymore to this day. And the people alive to this day didn't have anything to do with it. Okay, nobody alive today in North America has owned a slave that we know about. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're referring to when we say like that. Like, if you were directly victimized, fine. But most people nowadays are not.
No.
In that regard, anyway.
No, there was no reason to take that label off. It's basically people still living in the past, people not letting things go, people, to me it's people like not having a life, not, you know, they don't have enough to fill their day, they just want to go around trying to find ways to either piss people off or they may not even think that it's wrong or that it pisses people off or anything like that. They may literally, like, legitimately think that it's a good thing that they're doing. And okay, fair enough, but honestly, it is the smallest, most pettiest, most like, why? There's no reason to be trying to change a label when it has it doesn't change anything, honestly. Like, as much as you think it may change things, it doesn't. Changing a stupid label doesn't do anything. It doesn't prove a point. It honestly just kind of proves that there's not very bright people out there.
Oh, that's right. There are other more important issues going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand systemic racism is an issue that we're dealing with, but it's not about. You shouldn't be focused on like, oh, change this label because of what it was or what it you know, the heritage behind it. How about instead of changing labels, how about we change our own behavior? How about instead of changing this label and saying, well, you can't have that label because it's offensive. How about stop being offensive to other races, other cultures? You know, look at, you know, Jeremy down the road. He's Jeremy. He's not Black Jeremy or anything. Or like Chinese Jeremy. No, he's just Jeremy. And that's the way it should be. I'm just Robert. You're just Amanda.
Yeah, I think.
We're not like.
Yeah.
People have got to redirect their focus onto actual modern current issues.
I think people are trying to. I think everybody wants equality, but they're doing it the wrong way. If you really want equality and truly like understand what it is, it's not about, you know, taking labels off or that kind of thing. It's literally just accepting people for who they are. If they treat you well and you treat them well, that's it. Like, it's that simple. Like, people are gonna be Black, people are gonna be white, people are gonna be all these different things. Who cares? As long as they're good people, they treat you well, that's it, and that would be equality. Treat everybody the same. It's not about stupid labels. It's not about, you know, taking just
Don't be a dick.
No. And don't just, like, that whole Aunt Jemima thing really pisses me off. Like, it's just ridiculous that people go to those lengths when it has no bearing in the fact that they allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
Which
While you're
drives me
appeasing
nuts.
these things, but
it's not helping.
It's not the help. Yeah, it's not what people need right now.
No.
It's just
No.
not.
No.
No, I completely agree. It needs to be, everything needs to be focused on here and now, issues at hand, move forward rather than change the past. You can't
Yeah.
change the past. That's just not going to happen.
No,
the past
just-
happened. The best thing you can do is not repeat it.
Yeah, just let it go. Just let
Yeah.
the past go. Stop holding things against others and previous generations. Those things are done and over with. You've got to move on. You've got to move forward and just do better every day. Like,
Yeah.
like just let things go. It's hurting you and others by holding on to this crap.
No, hands down, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. Just be good to each other. Be understanding that everybody's got their things going on. Everybody's a little different, but you know, people, you got to go into every situation positive, and you got to go in to treat people the way you want to be treated, and you got to go in seeing people for we're all humans.
Yeah.
That's just it at the end of the day.
Yeah. So another thing that, you know, bothers me and that I think that we could all do without is people projecting their values, like the way that they see things, and like they think that it's only that certain way, that everybody should think that way. It's like when, you know, people come into, I don't know, a store or wherever, anywhere public, and they're, say, wearing a hat or a shirt or something that's like projecting their faith, or like it's almost projecting like they think that you should also believe in this thing. Like, there was for the longest time people coming around with either shirts or hats of saying Jesus is real and all this stuff, and then I'm like, that's totally fine. Well, that's totally fine if you believe in it. That's fine. I believe in Jesus as well, but I don't go around, you know, wearing hats and shirts and trying to project my beliefs, my perspective, I guess, on everything. Like, I don't think that that's a kind thing to do. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily bullying or anything, but it's just not respectful. It's honestly, I see that, and I think it's very disrespectful. And, you know, I don't think that anybody should be projecting their beliefs or anything on other people. I think that if you have your beliefs, that's great. Keep them, like, in your life. Don't go out in public projecting it on other people, because that's just disrespectful. And, like, you thinking that only your beliefs and only your perspective and only your faith and everything is the only right thing is ridiculous. Like, that is so wrong on so many levels, and it just shows how, like, sheltered and unaware you are, and like how closed off you are to everything in the world and all the different people. You can't just be so closed off and so under a rock where you're thinking it's okay to project these things onto other people. You can't go around shoving your faith, beliefs, anything, whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be a belief or faith, just anything, shoving down someone's throat, whatever you think and believe, because, you know, let's be honest, nobody's the only right. Like, there's no one right faith, there's no one right belief, there's no one right anything. because not everything fits and works with everybody else. Like, you have to respect other people's views and beliefs and faiths and perspectives and all of that. You can't go around shoving it down other people's throats, because chances are they're not going to do that to you, because that's disrespectful. So if you're so closed-minded, disrespectful, and you just don't care about anyone but yourself, like that's what comes across when you're wearing these things, is being disrespectful and not giving two shits about anybody else and what they think, believe, anything. So
Yeah. Well, and if you look at the way some people are versus some others. Okay, you believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
You believe in the story of Jesus. You believe in all of that stuff. Well, I don't. Simply put, I don't. I don't believe that there is one true God. I think Jesus was probably a person that was influential at the time. But I don't think he was the Son of God or anything like that. That's just me, though. But you know what? We're still friends.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to throw your beliefs at people to accept them. To assume that everybody should believe the same thing and that you're right and that these people must believe what you believe in order for you to get along with them. That is
super naive.
It's very naive, and it's also, you're kind of a bigot for thinking it. And I know that's a harsh word, but forcing your beliefs on other people, I think it's a fitting term. And I think that these people out there that are doing that, like, you can have your own opinions, you can have your beliefs. Don't shove them down other people's throats. No. Period. Enjoy them, help people. Find people with similar beliefs that you can grow with, but you can have different beliefs and still be friends, still connect with people. You know any people that I know that are like, I believe in God and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't, and they're like, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's never been an issue until the last couple of years, when people have gotten really, really sensitive about people disagreeing with their own opinions, where people are starting to be more aggressive about their beliefs.
I just think I think part of it, could be wrong, but I think part of it is like where everyone is like very much on the whole self, like your health, like self, not self-help, like
self-being,
like they're focusing on themselves, which is great. Like, you should always work on yourself, but I think people are taking it the wrong way. Like,
they're going too far with it.
They're going too far with it. I think that they're taking things and they're thinking, hey, I have these beliefs and they help me. I should go shove it in other people's faces so it helps them too. But guess what? Just because it helps you doesn't mean it's going to help somebody else.
That's right.
Everyone's different. And I feel like people are forgetting the fact that everyone's different. Yes, we're the same in a sense, but we're different.
Yeah, we do have a diversity. And you don't know other people's stories either. When I was young, I went to church. I sought out God. I didn't find anything. That's just me. So you don't know. Like, maybe some people are closed-minded and they're just like, no, that's ridiculous, or this is the way, or whatever. But some people aren't either. Some people genuinely have maintained an open mind. They've tried things. They've explored. They've put the honest to God effort into it. Pun intended. But they just you end up the way you are, and that's fine. People just need to understand that, I think.
Yeah.
Next thing I think is important that we touch on too, and this one, I feel that this one's more directed towards the guys out there. You don't need to assume that every woman out there is helpless. You don't need to assume that if you don't help them, the job won't get done. Truth of the matter is, women are very capable. Okay, they know their limits. They know their strengths. They know, what they can, what they're willing to do, what's acceptable, everything like that. they understand themselves. So if they do something, if you see a woman go, yep, I'm going to carry that over there. She's got it. Just let her get it. Just leave her out of they're going to think, they don't like, just like men, women don't like to feel helpless. They don't like to feel like talked down to. And in a lot of cases, when men come up to women and say, oh, let me get that, honey, or hey, sweetheart, let me get that, it's heavy. See? Look at that reaction right there. Yeah.
This is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you see that right there. That's exactly what you're doing to every woman. Most women, you're a stranger, they're not going to say anything because maybe they're working and they don't want to get written up for talking down to a customer or whatever the case may be. Maybe they just don't feel like picking a fight with you. But they all feel that way. That how Amanda just reacted, that's exactly how they feel. That's what you're doing. You're not making them feel, oh, thank you.
No.
I would never have gotten it by myself. No. Okay. It's not what's happening. That might be what's happening in your head, but externally they're going, hit.
Yep. 100%.
Okay. If you see something that is a definite, this person needs help, we may be talking a little bit different story now. Okay, if I'm walking down the sidewalk and Amanda's car breaks down and I see her trying to push her car and steer it at the same time, okay, that is a situation where yes, she is going to go, yes, I have help. If I come up and say, yeah, hop in, I'll push. Different story here now, because we're talking something that you wouldn't expect a man to be able to do on his own either. Okay, but if it's picking up a bag of flour or sugar or a flat of soda or something, they can do it.
Yeah, like we do not want help if it's not asked for. If we ask, for sure, help us. But like say if, like, okay, here's an example, like when I'm working, like you said, sometimes I have to pack boxes. And, you know, if I'm putting heavy things in there, like cans or meat, a lot of the guys would be like, oh, can you get that? Oh, do you need help? Oh, here, let me help you. And that boils my blood. I hate that. I do this job day in and day out. This is not my first rodeo. This is not my first time doing it. Okay? Just because I'm small does not mean I am not strong. You've got to stop putting these things together. Small girls are actually just as strong as not small girls, okay? Like,
sometimes they're stronger.
Exactly. Like, you've got to stop. Like, do not help somebody unless they ask for help or it's in the situation that he described already.
Where it's
like,
painfully obvious that help would be, but you know, yeah. And you know, some women, some smaller women, they're stronger than you.
This is true. Actually, I get that, like, you guys may not understand how to necessarily help someone. I get that, like, in the olden days, I'm assuming you were, like, trained or some shit to always help the woman and always carry everything and always open this and do that. Well, guess what? It's changed. It's not the same.
Well,
it is not the same anymore.
Yeah, and like respectfully, back in the day, I've actually seen, like very recently, I've seen a few articles that were like advertisements that were geared towards women. And every advertisement, okay, oh my God, people would be throwing a fit if that stuff came out nowadays, understandably, because some of these ads were like, they were literally targeting women and saying, well, you're useless, do this and you'll be less useless. Or do this to make your man happy because he does everything. And it's like, okay, first of all, that is extraordinarily naive. That is extremely short-sighted. That is very sexist. That is extremely disrespectful.
So wrong.
It's just there's so many different other things we can say it is that are negative, and it's okay. But the reality of it is okay, women, y'all can handle things just fine without. Okay, yes, men have their strengths, women have their strengths. We meet in the middle. Sometimes we overlap. It's totally cool. Okay, I don't care if you're a woman man, or 73 things in between, you probably can handle it just fine. I know as a man myself, if I'm doing the same things that she's talking about, if I'm gonna go pick up a slab of meat or, you know, something like not heavy but like not light, I don't want anybody saying, "Oh, can you get that? Can you handle that?" Like, men, put yourself in that shoes. Imagine you're trying to pick something up, and anybody, I don't care, even you know what, a 5'2" woman says, "You need a hand with that." Watch how you're gonna feel too. You're gonna feel you're gonna feel diminutive, emasculated. It's not okay. If people ask for help, that's because they understand it's outside their limits.
Yeah. I know that I'm not the only woman that believes or like feels this way, because like I have talked to some of the other girls that I work with, and they feel the same way. They absolutely hate it when guys are basically like, you're just assuming that we're weak, that we can't lift it, that we can't do our job. And you may not mean it that way, but that's exactly how it comes across, and you guys have to stop. It is not manly. It is not, I can't even say
chivalrous.
that right. Yeah, it's not that. And you guys have to get a better concept of it. Like how you guys are now is not how us girls, women want it. We don't want to be treated like that. We want to be treated as equal. And by you guys doing that and assuming that you're helping is not helping. That's just honestly making you look bad, and we don't want anything to do with you at that point. Like, we just want you out. Like, it's the harsh truth, but it's true. You guys have to stop doing that.
Yeah. I'm going to touch on one thing just because I know you said a word that people get twitchy about because they have their opinions, okay, and that's equality, being equal. Okay, first of all, it's painfully clear to everybody out there that doesn't understand this. Okay, when men and women say they want to be equal, okay, they're not necessarily saying, as a woman, I want to do everything that a man does, and that a man needs to do everything that a woman does in equal parts. That's not necessarily what equality means. What equality means is terms of respect, terms of, you know, it mainly comes down to respect. Okay, a woman wants to feel heard. She wants to have her choices respected, her limits respected, her mind, her body, everything respected, just as men expect themselves to be respected. Okay? Women of good sound mind who say, I want to be treated equal, are not saying, yeah, I want to go crawl around in a sewer for 8 hours and clean shit.
No.
That's not what it's about. It's about respect. It's about pulling together and having equal opportunities. So if there's a woman out there who wants to go do that, let her.
But it's like putting both your strengths together. It's not, you know, that you taking over what I can do and me taking over what you can do.
Yeah, it's a coming together.
Together is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not belittling or you know, demeaning or like being condescending to anybody. That's not it at all. It's literally respect.
It's working together. You ever heard the saying, 2 heads are better than one? Brain, perspective. It's better.
And that's kind of like how it was kind of made in a sense, wasn't it? Like, I mean, you have your strength and weaknesses, I have mine. We put it together, and then we're really strong.
Yeah.
Like, and that is, I don't just mean in like relationships. I mean friendships and anything that's, you know,
friendships,
even if
work,
it's like,
doesn't matter. Like, it's just,
even if it's like a stranger that you don't know, you know, like that's what we mean. You can do that with anybody.
Yeah, it really boils down to that respect, that equal respect. What I expect to be given to me, she expects to be given to her. That's fair. And that's, to me, that's what it's all about. That's what equality is about, is equal respect. And that goes across genders, races, species. Respect animals, respect people, respect nature. It transcends everything. It's respect to me anyway.
Yep. So, I recently saw this TikTok and I did share it on my Facebook because I thought it was absolutely horrible and disgusting, and it was about how women nowadays, not all women, but I'd assume a vast majority, they treat guys, like really good guys, like dirt. They think that the women think that it's all about them. They think that, you know, the guy's just a trophy hanging off their arm. They think that, you know, the guy needs to make all the money just so that the girl can have it. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. They, you know, they can't, if they show anything other than, you know, I'm a man and I, you know, I know this and I can do this and I take care of this and blah, 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 then they're thrown out and they're shit. So, I think that needs to change. That needs to stop, because these good guys, you know, they don't deserve this shit. And if I could, I would show you the TikTok, but maybe I'll put it on my Instagram. But that kind of crap needs to stop, because it's hurting these guys, these really good guys. It's making them basically hide, and like, you think that dating's hard, but it's because of that. It's because these guys feel like they need to hide, because it's you guys treat them like shit. You guys treat them like they're just, I don't know, property, that they're just, you know, disposable, and they're not. They're really good people, and the fact that, you know, you do these kind of things, I don't know what these guys would even see in you. And even though that's harsh, but
well, and it is a bit of a reality. I mean, you know, guys are told, you know, be a man, do this, do that, and when we do that, we're accused of toxic masculinity. And then on the flip side, people say, well, show emotion, be this, be that, when it comes to sensitivity, and then we're called pussies, and we're called out for being unmanly and,
yeah, but it's not pussy,
and unattractive.
it's not
Right,
unmanly.
right. It's not. It's, you want to balance it and everything. Like, yeah, you want to be masculine and mixed with sensitive. There's nothing saying that a man can't be sensitive. Okay, there's nothing saying that can't be. There's nothing saying that sensitivity can't be masculine. But finding that sweet spot is almost impossible nowadays. You look at a lot of things that I see. You know, the reality is, the vast majority, I think it's 77% of suicide rates right now are male. The vast majority of work-related deaths are male. The vast majority of people fighting in a war is male. And on top of all of that, there are people out there, there are women out there they're going on social media, and they are literally, not figuratively, they are literally advocating to kill all men.
Oh, that was awful when I saw that. That pissed me off.
Yeah. They're saying that we're completely useless, we're a waste of air, we're a waste of space, we're nothing but sperm donors, and that's the only purpose we have in life. And
Those women don't deserve anybody.
and you know what? I agree. They don't. Unless they learn. Learn, grow. Understand that we as men, we want to do good. We try to do good. We try to put the right people first, family first, you know, our girlfriend first, loyal to a fault in most cases. Now, I understand that there are bad guys out there too. Okay, I understand that. And they need to learn. They need to be held accountable for what we're saying right now about women being held accountable. Men, coming from me right now, be accountable. Man the fuck up. Okay, that doesn't mean do whatever you want and treat people however you want. It means be a man. It means show respect. Show strength in your respect, not in the way you use people. Women, woman up. I don't know, is that a term? I know it's not like a term, but like, do your guys' thing the best you guys do. Everybody always remember back in the day, people used to say, this was something smart. It's like, oh yeah, that man's the head of the household, but the woman is the neck. Okay, that wasn't about like, oh, she controls everything. No, it meant that they supported, they worked together.
I think
to achieve
everyone's
something,
just
right? Work
they're
together.
misunderstanding a lot of these things, taking it as in that, I don't know, they seem to take it, those kind of sayings, like the woman is just better, and that's not the case. Like,
No,
we're all the same. Like, it is again all back to freaking equality. Like, I just don't know why everybody thinks that they're better than everyone else. Like, I don't know how you can live your life like that. Like,
well, you go on a lot of social media right now and you see a woman dictating her own value. You say, well, what determines your value? They say, I do. I determine my value. That's cool. You see a man do that. Say a man says, I determine my own value. I'm the prize catch here. I'm this. Now he's being a misogynistic asshole.
but
And
that's what's wrong though, is like, that's
truth
not what it is. People
yeah.
are making it out to be that when that's not the case.
And the perspective too, like some women choosing their own value is not okay. Some women choosing their own value is okay. It's because it's about having the proper perspective of what you bring to the table, what value you offer. If you offer nothing, your value is zero.
Mm-hmm.
If you offer a lot, your value is high. It does not matter if you're a man, a woman, or anything in between, or any type of sexuality. Your value is determined by what you bring to the table. And how you complement that with somebody else's bringings to the table. The average guy, I'm gonna put this out here right now, the average guy in his 30s makes about between $40,000 and $60,000 a year. Yet there are plenty of women out there saying that they will not date anybody who makes less than $500,000, $1 million a year.
That's ridiculous though. Like,
but they won't bring anything to the table. They say, "Oh, what do you bring?
That's
what do you offer
ridiculous.
the man who makes $1 million a year? What do you offer him?" And they say, "Oh, I'm nurturing." And it's like,
no.
first of all, a man who makes $1 million a year does not need a nurturing woman. Okay, he does not want a nurturing woman. He wants a woman that has high strengths, independence, and strong morals. Okay, especially nowadays, these men who are making $1 million and have good heads on their shoulder. Guess what? They're not dating because they're afraid of losing everything.
I don't blame them.
No,
At all.
neither do I. Coming from a guy who's lost everything, I don't blame him either. The reality is that, you know, people need to understand what they bring to the table and how to grow that. If the best thing you can offer a man is like a blowjob, and that's it,
It's pretty pathetic.
and if you're gonna go and offer that same thing to the next guy who has who makes a little bit more money, you're not offering value. Okay, you're just taking. And men, I'll flip this too. I'll play devil's advocate. Okay, men, good women, they don't just want a one night stand. They don't want a fling. They don't want a fuck buddy. They don't want, you know, your sideways hat, jacked up truck attitude with this, you know, for the boys bullshit. Okay, they want a man who does his own thing, but also integrates her into his life. Okay? They don't care if your thing is video games. They care if your only thing is video games. Okay?
Yeah.
Integrate them into your life. Show them respect. Show them priority. Show them that they matter.
Yeah.
And a good woman will give you all of that right back.
Yeah.
So let's all stop being a bunch of little hoes and fuck boys and get on with actually being respectful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so much easier. It's simple.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah.
Everyone's just making it more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah. And people take their pride into accommodation too. Like, I've seen conversations where a guy is breaking up with his girlfriend, they don't connect, whatever it is. He's trying to be respectful, he's trying to like understand the feelings that are being hurt. He knows he's not going to come out of this without hurting her feelings. He's trying to be comforting. And she's turning around saying, okay, well, I'm going to spread rumors that you're a pedophile and a rapist. People, good guys end up going to jail over lies because of all of that. And you wonder where the good guys are. Okay, I remember, I see this thing that's so funny. It's just like, oh yeah, we're all the good guys. Oh, you friend zoned them? No. Maybe, but odds are the good guys are sitting at home doing their thing, or they're going social with their friends doing their thing, and they're not actually out there pursuing women because they don't want to go to a woman and say, hey, how are you, and her go, get the fuck away from me, you fucking toxic man,
Yeah.
or something like that. Or the next thing you know, it's this big thing and it's not okay. And
No.
we don't want the hassle.
I don't blame you. Women need to fucking shape up. Like, just like that TikTok. Like, I was disgusted when I saw that TikTok. Like the guy who made it. Like, I'm not disgusted by him. Just like the girls that were on there. Yeah, the examples were just like they were good in like showing what a lot of the women do out there, but it's just, it breaks my heart. It's disgusting. It just turns my stomach, and I don't blame the good guys like staying home, staying away from these girls. I mean, a lot of the time, I don't know, because like I don't do these things, but a lot of the time I think these girls are like faking it at first. Like they're really, really good, and then after I don't know, they don't maybe like something that you guys do, that's when they flip the switch. And I don't think that's right. I think that's disgusting. That's horrible.
Yeah.
It's not all about them. It should never be all about one person. Don't be with somebody if you don't give two flying fucks for them. Like, only be with them if you care about them, if you really truly care about them. Don't waste people's time. Don't waste guys' times. Guys don't waste girls. Like, you know.
Well, there's lots of times where people will, fake being nice, fake being all these good things in the beginning, and that sucks for two reasons. Because like one,
Sorry, that's my dry washer. I'll go close the door. Keep going.
Yeah. So like one, when all of these good traits are being shown off, it makes it very hard to filter out what's genuine and what's people being fake just to get whatever they want. And that's something that both genders have to deal with, unfortunately. Filtering out the genuine people for the ones who are just faking it for their own gain. Other things that people have to do, stop collecting ammo. Okay? If your man or if your woman is doing something that you don't agree with respect, vocalize it. Let them know.
Yeah.
Don't just hold it so that later when you piss them off, you can attack them back with 40 different things that you held on to.
No.
Okay? That's not what a relationship is about.
No, being an adult, that's just childish doing that.
Yeah. Like, if I come to a person and say, hey, like, earlier today you were really disrespectful in front of my parents. Okay? The last thing I want to hear is, oh yeah? You want to know what you do all the time to piss me the fuck off? And that's fine if you've already vocalized it and the person is continuing to do it, because then you're just bringing your point home, like, hey, like, okay, I get it, I was disrespectful, but you know what? You need to shape up too. It becomes a mutual thing. But if you're sidelining this guy, like, just not sidelining, but like sideswiping this guy with all of a sudden now he's just like, whoa, what was I doing? The fuck, had I known, I wouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't know because you didn't vocalize it, that's not on the guy anymore. You got to vocalize what's going on.
Yeah.
And that comes from everything. Like, you can't read my mind. I can't read yours. Okay, listen. Nope, can't do it. So, one thing we've done as friends is like we vocalize like, hey, this is like, I'm not okay with that, or like, hey, this is awesome. And that way each of us know like, okay, hey, this is good, this is not good. And we respect that because this whole video, it really comes down to that hard respect. Show everybody that, men, women, everything in between. I don't care what you are, who you are, respect, 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 respect. And, you know, stop making everybody feel like they just want to shut in and be alone, because that's the best option for them sometimes.
No, I agree. And I agree with all of that, but also too, like, when you do find a good person, whether that be friend or like dating or whatever, and they don't do any of this stuff to you, and they like respect you and just they're all in with you and everything, like, don't you know, like, don't, I don't even know how to say it, like, don't push them away if you want them in your life. Like, I mean, I get that it's really weird to find the good ones amongst all the bad. Like, I get that it's really like rare on either side, but when you do find that good person, like, I don't know if it's really worth it to just drop them, just let them go. Just like, you want to keep those people in your life, because honestly, to come by them like a lot is very rare. Like, you just don't, like, I mean, even like I said, dating, friends, whatever, like, for friend wise, I mean, what were the chances I come by him? Like, literally, actually, funny short story. I really needed help with something, like really, really bad. And I mean, I don't think that I was necessarily like desperate for help.
I wouldn't say desperate, no.
No, but I just really, really needed, like, I was just out of things to try, out of everything. And I like basically like kind of prayed to myself, like by myself, like literally like kneeled in my bed, prayed everything, and kind of used like the law of attraction kind of thing, because I really needed help and, like, I guess a good friend too. And it's funny because I don't know exactly how long after, I don't remember, because I know I told you this story, but
I think you said it was like almost 2 weeks.
okay, was it?
Yeah, like
okay.
Roughly, yeah.
So I did that, and yeah, okay, around 2 weeks, he ended up showing up at work because he got a job there and everything. And he like was working with me and just got to talking. I mean, it took a little while, but like, he was actually what, like, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, was bringing to me. And at the time when he came into my life, it didn't even compute in my head that I had done that like 2 weeks prior.
Yeah. And
here he was, and he literally was here like to help me with the exact thing that I needed help with. And if it wasn't for him, fuck,
well,
I'd be
totally different,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that goes both ways, because I mean, the whole reason I came to work there, like the same place where you work, is because I had lost myself in a toxic career. And, you know, my thing about coming there was to reaffirm myself, find what I wanted to be and do, and, you know, kind of almost like cold restart my life again. And, you know, I never really like put a lot of stock in the whole law of attraction thing. Not that I disagree with it, but just that I don't, you know, I didn't really think about it, right? But at the same time, you're the type of person that is like an amazing guide, because you're very open and honest about your observations, and you're very, you know, you educate yourself before you give advice. Like whatever you say, like, hey, try this. You're not saying it out of your ass. You're not saying it because, well, you heard it on Instagram one day or something. You know, you actually educate yourself before you do that. And that was exactly what I needed, was an unbiased guide to self-discovery. And yeah, you got what you needed, I got what I needed, and years later, here we still are, helping each other, supporting each other, being good friends.
Yeah, like I've had good friends in the past, but I mean, nothing compares to like being friends with you, because like they weren't like bad friends or anything, but they, unfortunately, I think they were more into and worried about themselves than they were about our friendship. And it was more of like slightly, like I felt at least like they were using me. So I got rid of those friendships because there's no point, and that's why like I value this friendship so much, is because you're actually there for me and you're not, you know, using me for anything, and I'm not doing that to you either.
We both give, and yeah, absolutely. Like I couldn't agree more. And that, even that point you just made really comes down to like what we've been talking about too, because it's a give and take in so many situations. People take because they're just worried about themselves and what they want and their needs, and that's fine. You should prioritize yourself, but not in a selfish manner. If people give to you, reciprocate. Right? Give back. If they give you effort, like give them effort.
Yeah, but like don't feel obligated to. Like that's part of it too, is like if you're, say, dating or with friends or whatever, it should just feel natural, not like, I have to do this because they did it. No.
Yeah, and like people shouldn't make you feel obligated to do anything. Yeah, absolutely. It should feel right. It should feel mutual. It should feel good to give. And you should feel okay taking too. Like you shouldn't feel obligated.
No, it shouldn't feel bad.
One person either. You shouldn't feel guilt. You should just feel. It should all feel good.
It should feel good and natural.
Yeah.
Like it's just
And those are the friends that you want, and that's why like those kind of friends are like more rare. That's why they say like, I gotta have 4 quarters over 100 pennies, right? Because I've had friends like you mentioned too in the past. They weren't necessarily by any means bad people. They just took a lot more than they gave, and whether they were malicious about it is to be determined. But
that's why you don't want it, and that's why I'd rather just have a couple friends and be good with it, and then it's way better. Just better.
100%. Yep. So I think the lesson to be learned today is respect your neighbor, your friends, your family, everybody out there. Give and take. Don't be so close-minded about things. Don't hold grudges. You know, let's move forward. Let's grow. Let's be more community-based and more supportive of everybody, including ourselves and everybody else out there. You know, with all that being said, go ahead and comment below what you think of the video. Let us know your opinions. If there's anything you agree with, disagree with, put it down there. Hit that like button if you like this video. Check out our individual channels. So we both have our own. We'll link them in the description down below as well. And get the bell notification on so you don't miss any of our uploads. Okay? Subscribe if you enjoy the content you're seeing and want to share it with other people. Hit the share button for that. And hit that like button because it helps get our content out there if you enjoy this type of thing. So enjoy your guys' day, evening, night, whatever it is for you. And
we'll see you in the next video.
Gotcha. What? I find it helps in editing to have that, 'cause you know when to cut it. Ready? Oh my god.
Nope. B8. Oh, B8. Oh. Okay. I got it.
You got it?
So, oh.
Thwap. I hope the audio picked that up. In other news.
Okay, I got this. It's fine.